Hey there, this is Dr. Renee Pleasant at Pleasant Leadership Consulting, where we inspire your leadership freedom. So welcome back to another edition. Actually, it's a surprise edition of our YouTube channel here at Leadership University. So I'm coming to you today to share my opinion of an article I read. I actually downloaded this article about a month ago, but my reading list is, well, it's a little long, and my reading list is longer than my days. Let's just leave it at that. So as I said, I downloaded this article a month ago, but it just has taken me this long to read it. I downloaded it from Harvard Business Review, and the article is entitled, "Leadership Training Shouldn't Just Be for Top Performers." So I downloaded this with the intent of reading it and sharing it here on the channel and just raving about how much I agreed with everything the authors wrote about the article. I mean, with a title like that, I just knew I was going to connect with the articles. It did not work out that way. I read the article and said, well, maybe I just missed a few points. So I reread the article. I did not agree with the authors at all on this. No. Well, that's not an accurate statement. There are a few things I did agree with. Okay, so here's the premise of the article. So the article is written by two authors, and they are saying that as leaders or hiring HR department and such, that when we are selecting our followers for the next promotion, we are looking at the wrong grouping of people when we are making promotions. I agree with that. Totally agree with that. Okay? They're saying that when we are making our selection, we are looking at the top performers. So imagine a ladder, okay? So you've got your group of followers here, 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 and here. Their argument, and sadly, in some cases, it's valid. We are pulling, P-U-L-L, pulling from the pool, P-O-O-L, from our top people on the ladder. So as we are conducting our performance reviews, they go up. So the better they perform on a performance review, the follower goes up a rung on the ladder. Or if they have years of experience, they go up on the rung of the ladder, right? Very old school traditional methodology for promoting someone from one position to another in an organization. So this is the way we used to do things, right? So the longer you are at an organization, so you're being rewarded for tenure, you're being rewarded for, like, if you attended extra trainings or you went to seminars, or you would advance up the rung of a ladder. Does this make sense? Well, if you're as young as my daughters, it may not make sense, because, you know, if you're a millennial, well, that's not the way you're used to. But trust me, if you're as old as I am, that's the way it used to be. You were awarded or rewarded for your age. Yeah, you used to be rewarded for getting old, or same for your loyalty for the company and for seeking out extra learning opportunities. Yay, paid to learn, woo! So that's the method in which you were advanced in your career. Well, they're arguing that some employees, that just wasn't their jam. You know, so they were capable of doing the same task in a company, but it wasn't the right carrot for them, and they were being overlooked. Valid points, 100% valid. So they had mentioned three assumptions in the article. Assumption number one, success is the result of individual efforts. Now they're arguing these are assumptions that people are making. Assumption number two, past performance predicts future performance. And their last assumption is motivated employees benefit most from development. All right, so they're arguing that as leaders, we, because we're leaders, we should be looking at people instead of ladders, that we should be making more of a lateral view of the organization. So don't be doing a ladder, L-A-D-D-E-R, but more of a lateral view. Now, that's where I agree with them, okay? See, I can bring some positive to this. Now, if you're one of those readers who just kind of skims and kind of looks at your nonfiction text clues, and you look at maybe the headings and you maybe skim a few parts, you could walk away from this article and say, oh man, I agree with this article. These authors are fantastic. And you can walk away with it and say, I support it 100%. And you and I would have to disagree. Because at the surface level, that's right. Here's where I disagree with them. Because underneath those headings, when you start reading their supporting reasons, it falls apart. It falls apart. Now, do I agree that past performance predicts future performance? Well, I think it can. I think it can, because I think it depends on the person. If you have someone who is a driven personality, I think that driven personality is going to show time and time again. If you have someone who has no desire to try, that's going to show time and time again. I think you are who you are, and you're going to be that way. That's the reason why I encourage people to invest in personality matching assessments. I think that's, you need to know the type of employee you're getting. I think you're a D personality, a dominant personality is always going to be a dominant personality. You know, you need to know who you're getting. If you're going to get a C, a cautious personality, you're going to always have a cautious personality. You're always going to have a cautious employee. Now they can have, they are going to have different personalities, but if they're cautious is their most dominant, not a dominant personality, but if that is their most prominent personality trait, then that's who they're going to be. So you need to know that. So yes, I think past does predict future. Does it mean that they can change? Yes, they can change, but you need to know that. And as far as motivation and development, motivation drives development. So you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves, but you can help inspire the motivation. So does the motivated employee benefit most from development? I think everybody benefits from development, but the person who is the motivated person is going to seek development. They're going to seek it on their own. They're going to seek it if you're offering it. But the person in your organization who needs the most skill set for development, they're not going to be motivated for it. So you're not going to try to help them with a skill set. You're first going to work on them for motivation, and then you're going to work on them for skills for development. So that's two different things. That's apples and oranges. So in the article, when they're talking about how the person who needs the most development, they're going to show the greatest gains. Well, duh, they have the greatest to show the skills to learn. But you're not going to start with that employee on learning the skills needed for the job. You're going to work with them on the desire to want the skills to learn. So there are some things in here in the article that I feel their points to prove or to disprove the assumptions are off base. I do believe that the assumptions are incorrect. I do not believe that they go with the title. I think that they just don't match. And I do believe that leaders need to look for different criteria when promoting. So I just feel like it was a mixed match. I feel like you know what I feel like? I feel like a toddler was dressing themselves, and they took a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and they threw it together to make a deadline for an article. Do I think that we could have taken some of these parts out and put it together in a prettier outfit? I do. That's just my opinion. Those are my thoughts. I would love for you to read the article. I would love for you to make your comments in the section below this video, and and I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts. So this is not part of our weekly video upload. It's not part of our normal series. It's just something I read and decided to share. And you'll find it under our book review. Even though it's not a book review, it is an article review. So tune in next week as we continue our series for leadership tips. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so you can continue to get the weekly updates and these surprise updates, because you never know what I'm going to read and share. Until I see you again, have stellar days and continue to lead well.